Hey guys, I just thought I would maybe make another video in English now that I've been doing this channel for a little while and studying for a little while, and now I kind of have more of a concrete plan of what it is I'm trying to do. So I just thought I would maybe make a quick video to just explain it in case anyone stumbles across one of these videos and sees me doing all this strange stuff. So by now, maybe you should probably already know that this is a channel where I'm trying to study Arabic and practice and get better. Basically, I first got into Arabic many years ago. I got the CLS scholarship and studied for a while for a summer in Jordan, and was a really great program. If anyone's trying to apply for that, highly recommend it. It's super, met a lot of great people. After I've kind of graduated from that program, I started college and took more Arabic courses there, and I also took a couple of summer intensive programs, and I'd say all told probably like 3 years of Arabic, like formal instruction is what I got. But all of it was in Fusha, so I still can't speak it basically, or I couldn't speak it once I kind of finished with the schooling. If anyone studied Arabic before and they've kind of gone the normal college route, they know that it's very difficult to speak in Fusha, and they don't really focus on that in the classes. It's more of a focus on reading and listening. So a lot of people end up taking a bunch of classes in Arabic, especially in college, and then they graduate and they can't really speak it well, or when they do speak it, they quickly come to find that they're speaking a version of the language that nobody really uses in real life in the Middle East. So for that reason, here I am basically more than 10 years later, and I've started about 3 months ago. I started with a private classes online twice a week to study the Levantine dialect, specifically Jordanian and Palestinian. So pretty straightforward. The reason I'm doing it is because I was kind of annoyed that I took so much Arabic, spent so much time, studying and really like taking a crack at this thing, and I felt like I just didn't get where I wanted to be in the language. I can kind of speak it, but not that great, and I definitely couldn't do really anything in dialect. You go on YouTube to watch, a TV show or something like that, and if it's not Al Jazeera Arabic or something like that, you just have no idea like what anyone is saying, because basically it's like a totally different language. So basically here I am, and so my goal since I started with the dialect classes is I want to reach the advanced high level on the OPI examination. So this channel specifically is just going to be practice for me to like speak in Arabic in the dialect, to just try to get better at different things, to learn to say certain things, practice vocabulary, practice constructing higher level sentences, basically whatever I feel like will be helpful in my studies. And the big thing about this channel is, there's not really any production. Like I don't want to waste a lot of time making flashy videos when I could use the time to actually spend studying the language and hopefully getting better. So there's not going to be like any flashy production. I'm not going to be taking field trips or anything like that. No crazy editing. I'm just going to kind of throw up videos as much as I can. There is no scripts, so anything that I say in Arabic, anything I talk about is just straight. I turn on the camera, here's the topic, and I try to do it because I want to closely kind of model what I'm doing with this channel on what I might come across when I take the OPI examination itself. And from my understanding, there was like not a lot of preparation you can do for that other than just practicing speaking a lot and getting more comfortable using the language. So this is just going to be pure unscripted speaking in Arabic. The other big thing about this is the classes I'm taking now, I take twice a week. So it's basically 4 hours a week. I'm in the United States. I don't have friends that I can speak with in Arabic on a regular basis. Like, I'm not immersed, in a like immersion summer intensive course. I'm not somewhere in the Middle East where I'm like walk out of my house after the video and I can like speak a bunch of Arabic. This is just me, a regular person trying to learn this really difficult language, and just trying to see how far I can take it with kind of more limited resources than maybe some of the other channels or people that you've seen on YouTube. So coming to the next part of this is the OPI examination itself. If you haven't heard of it, it's basically the standardized test that they use to determine how well someone speaks a language, like especially if you're I think mostly people take it if they're trying to get a job using the language, or they want to work in the government or something like that. And so you take this test, and it's usually like over the phone, I think, and it just gauges your speaking ability. And so they kind of like push you to speak at a higher and higher level, and they sort of like try to pick apart your speech. I've taken it one time officially, like back when I first started Arabic. It was quite difficult. So I'm kind of, it's a really good way. Like, there's no way to hide your ability. It's like when you take that call and you like start the test, like it's just you and whatever it is and so I feel like it's a really good gauge for just fluency in general, like for speaking ability, which is kind of what my goal is at this point. So with the OPI specifically, advanced high in the language is basically functionally fluent. Like, I'm definitely not advanced high right now, but I'd say I'm pretty decent. Like, I can narrate things, I can tell stories, I can talk about my day. I can do like the basic verb conjugations, past, present, future, that kind of stuff. But where I really start to falter is when I'm trying to like argue a position, or like I'm speaking about my opinion and someone sort of like presses back, and then, people do this thing all the time in speech where they talk about like, oh, well, this is what my opinion is, and then they sort of reflect a little bit on an opposing side, and they kind of like bring it all together in this nice package. That's definitely more of an advanced high level thing to do in a language. So between that and like handling unexpected topics, like someone, throws out a scenario that maybe you're not familiar with, you don't know all of the vocabulary for, can you still use what you know to like stay in the language and sort of talk your way around certain things, but still be able to like express your ideas in a way that's, you know, still kind of cohesive. Like even if you don't know specific, like very kind of niche words for specific topics, like can you still sort of talk about it, you know? And I'm sure if you think about it, like in your native language, people do this every day. Like they talk about things that they really don't know anything about, but they're able to still like speak about it, you know? So that's another advanced high level thing. Advanced high basically means you can do that across like a very wide variety of topics on the fly. So like someone can give you a scenario or topic or something like that, and you can just basically go and speak about it, and you have at least enough vocabulary that you can kind of, you know, do what you have to do in the language and not have to revert back to like your native language. So I think that's a pretty lofty goal. I've, you know, been kind of been in the like Arabic language learning realm for a long time, and I've seen, you know, lots of other students, and I can tell you that of all the years that I was in school, like all the time I spent around other students, I think I've only seen 3 people total that could do that in a dialect. So for Arabic, I feel like that's quite a rare thing for someone to hit the advanced high level. So personally, like I would love to get there. I think it would just be really great. I love the language. Like it's just a very unique like puzzle, and it's just amazing. Like if you've come this far in this video, like obviously you're interested in Arabic and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to go there. Like there's other videos to explain like what makes it so cool, but it definitely is. So moving on, I guess, to the next part of this is what is it that I'm doing to try to hit this level? And so, you know, the first thing is I'm twice a week taking the class. I have a Palestinian instructor. You know, it's 2-hour sessions. It's just in dialect. It's basically like a back and forth conversation. So I started roughly 3 months ago, and it's been really amazing, really eye-opening. I've kind of like remembered a bunch of stuff that I've had like previously forgotten in the past. But I'm also like just getting like a fire hose of new information, new vocabulary, like the accent, you know, everything. Like it's a lot, but it's a great way to do it. It's just a one-on-one class. So I do that, and then when I'm not taking class, like during the rest of the week, I do like daily vocabulary, you know, studying vocab. There's just tons of words that you have to know. So I usually will like pick a topic, and then I come up with a list of words in that topic so I can kind of learn them together, because I feel like that helps you remember it better, at least for me. So I do the vocab. I also listen to a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's some very good channels. I'm not going to list them because Levantine, you know, Jordanian and Palestinian dialect is kind of its own thing. So maybe if you're trying to learn Egyptian instead, like the stuff that I watch is not going to be useful for you. But definitely YouTube is a very good source. There is some Arabic TV, like Shahid, which is kind of like their Netflix. I do that a little bit, but I find it to be pretty difficult right now. So I'm kind of putting that to the side, but I also do like podcast, stuff like that. Like basically YouTube is like the nexus for anything you want to find like concerning stuff to listen to. So vocab, listening, and then I do speaking practice, which is either making videos for this YouTube channel, or I have a book that has a bunch of like phrases, verbs, all this stuff. It's a really good book. and it has MP3 files where a native speaker will read all of the sentences aloud. And so I'll just go through and like pick so many sentences a day and just sort of pick my way through them, listen to them, repeat the sentences, and try to get my accent and my pronunciation as close to the native speaker as I can get. And also that helps me kind of take in the vocabulary and like the dialect expressions, the way that they say certain things in the dialect kind of helps me, you know, memorize it, assimilate it. And so between all of those things, that's kind of like a full-time, you know, studying thing. I just try to do stuff every day is like the bottom line. No matter how I'm feeling, I do a little bit each day, you know, and hopefully that'll get me there. So basically the focus now is just to practice stuff that shows up in the OPI. So like the higher level stuff, using connectors, using, you know, just kind of like higher level speech to sound more educated. Like how can you take a simple topic and like elevate it so you sound, you know, better. So that's what I'm doing. That's what this channel is. I'm shooting for a year. I'm gonna probably take the OPI in 3 months and just kind of see where I'm at. But kind of the long-term goal is like I'm pushing for advanced high in a year. So I'm not sure. I think it's possible. I don't think it's impossible, but I also don't think it's going to be very easy either. But, you know, we'll just wait and see. I think it'll be a fun experiment. And, you know, if anyone happens to stumble by this and they find this channel interesting, great. You know, I don't think there's anyone else really doing this on YouTube. I've not been able to find people who are like, you know, not already native speakers, or people who, you know, the other people I've found, they've, you know, they're not native speakers, but they've like grown up somewhere in the Middle East. And so they've, you know, just kind of been in the language for most of their lives. And so they speak at a very high level. But even with those, I would say few and far between that I've seen that actually speak in a dialect. Like most of those people are still speaking in Fusha, which is, you know, it's great. Like Fusha is great. It has its uses, but I really think that, you know, if you're going to take the plunge with a language like Arabic that, you know, really requires like years of focused study, and you really want to speak it, I feel like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit if you don't go for a dialect, because really I feel like it's kind of like the heart and soul of the language. You know, so many times in the Middle East, like, you know, I would try to speak Fusha to a native speaker and they like instantly want to revert to English because they can instantly see that, okay, this guy like doesn't know the language, you know what I mean? So I feel like knowing a dialect and knowing it really well gives you sort of that like extra push into the culture, and like it's really a way to you know, connect with people in a way that Fusha just doesn't give you, in my opinion. So that's basically it for this video, for my goals in general. You know, so if you happen to watch this and you come across these videos later and I'm like stumbling around in Arabic, this is basically what I'm going to be doing. So thanks a lot if you happen to watch it, and if you find it interesting, great, and I'll see you there.